laws, and part of their laws were blasphemy laws. It's not an enforced law, and I personally really wish that it was taken off of out of the penal code. But yeah, go ahead, Edward.
Having just said that, Dave.
Yeah.
The Canada Research Chair on Religion, Pluralism, and the Rule of Law, that's Anver M. Eamon, says, I am not sure that this law is hypocritical. I think it's just a fine balance. One can have religious freedom at the same time as limit the scope of speech so as to protect those who might otherwise be injured by that speech in some way, shape, or form.
Now, who was this?
He is the Canadian Research Chair on religious pluralism and rule of law.
Wow.
So,
but the one thing that I did notice, or that I did read, is that Trudeau is gonna go back and take a look at religion in Canada and make the government less religious. So maybe that's one of the things that he'll do.
Well, right now, lawyers have repeatedly said and have indicated, and these are federal crown attorneys, they say that this law is sleeping and not dead, meaning that if you get the right guy or right cleric or bishop or archbishop, they can enforce this at any step of the game. So it's a sleeping law that needs to be changed.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, basically,
it's scary too.
Well, think about it. I mean, we all talk about the Charlie Hebdo cartoons. If they were printed in Canada right now, that would fall under the blasphemous libel law and will be, they would be indicted.
I don't think it would get anywhere though. Like once it got to court, I don't think it
according to all the lawyers, you would actually have a grounds for to do that.
Yeah, but what I mean by that is like I think even if you were charged and you went in front of the judge, I don't think that they would do anything. But even if they did, it wouldn't make it through appeals.
Well, again, one of the things that needs to be done, and I don't know if everybody is in Canada heard of the CFI or Canadian Freedom. Oh, sorry, I apologize. It's the CFI, Canadian Federation. Oh, sorry. Let me just find that so I don't mess it up.
The United Federation of Planets.
Yeah,
the United Nations?
No, CFI is Canada. There's a counterpart in the United States.
Center for Inquiry?
Yes. That's exactly what it was. Center for Inquiry.
The Dominion?
The Canadian CFI branch is actually fighting this to try to get it removed from the books permanently. Because basically it's a freedom to, your freedom of speech is totally impaired.
Yeah.
And it also gives people the right not to be offended. Right now, for any other form of speech besides blasphemy, we have the right to offend people. But under this blasphemy law, we don't. And, under the freedom of expression, I'll just leave you with one quick quote and get your responses basically on what I just said. What is freedom of expression? Without freedom to offend, it ceases to exist. That was Salman Rushdie. So
me.
Me. It's always about you, isn't it?
It is. Okay. How would they be able to enforce this law, seeing as Canada is a fake country?
To have the fake police come get you.
Okay, thank you.
On their horses?
A moose.
No, on a moose. They'll make you sleep with a beaver.
For me, sorry.
I sleep with a beaver almost every night.
Yeah, I just got to wrap up real quick. What would it take for this law to actually come into effect? Party voting? What would happen?
What would happen to get it removed or get it to actually get
enforced? That's the thing I'm worried about.
Well, I think I think if it was going to be enforced, Ezra Levant would have already. They would have gone after Ezra Levant over this already. Ed, because he got sued for slander, but he didn't get charged. Okay, for the Americans, We had a news station up here that was basically Fox, but in Canada it was called Sun News. But because we're not into Fox, they didn't last. It shut down. There was a reporter or news anchor on there named Ezra Levant, and he's right up there with Geller. So he's past the point of being anti-Islam into the point of being a Muslim bigot. And he was attacking some clerics and some other people verbally on the news, on national television, and bad-mouthing them and being blasphemous towards Islam. So I think if anybody was going to get charged with it, I think he would have been a prime candidate. Now, he was sued.
And under this, I'm going to read the two subsections so that you can understand exactly what can be done and what they say. And that is one of the reasons why you can't be sued for what you say. Section 2 says, it is a question of fact whether or not any matter that is published is blasphemous libel. And Section 3 is, no person shall be convicted of an offense under this section for expressing in good faith and in decent language, or attempting to establish by argument used in good faith and convey in decent language an opinion on a religious subject. So you can criticize religion. It's the actual how you say it, the phraseology of what you're doing. So.
Phraseology.
Yeah.
That's Snoopy talk.
Where did Johnny go?
Oh no, he left.
He left.
Oh no. Fuck me.
And Dave, to answer your question, is about how if they were going to charge someone, he would be a prime candidate. Mm-hmm. It depends on who. Like, it has to be brought before the court, and it has to be someone expressing it. So if the Islamic community let it ride, then they would.
Yeah, but you would have to call the police, and then the police would have to come, and then you would say, I'd like to charge this guy, and it just seems super outlandish that this charge would get going. 3 weeks ago, Canada statistically was rated the freest country on the planet by the people that do those types of things. So because nobody's been charged with the blasphemy law, I understand where you come from, and I think
this would be like, this is like a criminal offense. This is not even like between two parties. So the Crown would actually come down.
Yeah, the Crown has.
The government would actually have to bring forth charges.
Which is not.
And I'm not a legal expert.
No, I don't think I can't see it.
I know one.
But what I would say is, like, to me, this seems unconstitutional.
Yeah.
So what we'd want to do is probably have, I'm not speaking as a legal expert, but just based on my intuition, like, you'd want to have someone to commit the offense and then challenge the constitutionality.
Yeah.
Based on a charter and have this law struck down. For some reason, I don't think that Trudeau, for some reason, it's not a priority for them. Maybe it should be, but tackling this.
Yeah, but religion and politics isn't a priority up here at all, and he's already said that he's going to do it. How has your life been affected by religion in politics in Canada ever?
No, I hope he does affect it, and I hope that they have the majority. They can gather enough votes and repeal the law. It's just he just has so much other shit to do, like with the environment, with Syria,
The biggest hypocrisy, though, this has to be addressed for a really important reason, is that Canada always is pointing out other countries like Iran, Iraq, places, Saudi Arabia, where like matters like the imprisonment of Raf Badawi and other
in Egypt, you mean?
In Egypt and other places like that where these people are, they're pointing out the fact that these injustices are happening. Yet the hypocrisy comes from is that we still have this on our books.
You mean there's a hypocrite of the government?
Yeah, it's hypocrisy. I know,
I'm shocked. We're selling military equipment to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
So you know what I mean? Like
I mean, we'll still have to be, I mean, until someone's actually, I understand it's hypocritical in theory, but until we actually can indict somebody on it, we can sort of not go that far. If we have a proven record of saying, well, we call out other governments and for their blasphemy laws, but we still prosecute people for blasphemy laws here. That's one thing, but the truth is that who's been convicted under this law? No one.
No, but it's
Can we, David, real quick, I think Zach's going to fall asleep.
He's bobbing for cock.
Yeah.
All right.
So, I mean, we could still chat afterwards, but we should wrap up so that Zach can.
I'm good to wrap up. This
give us a good wrap up, man.
Yeah, give us a good plug, Zach. Plug yourself.
The Baby Jesus plugs or just my show?
Dude.
No, the Magic 8 Ball plug.
If you tried to insert the Baby Jesus into your ass, it would disappear, and I guess it would wind up somewhere on the other end of the universe.
Oh my gosh, Zach's ass is the actual real Magic 8 Ball fucking butt. Like
no, that's where Jesus was for those 3 days.
Just 3 days.
I'm surprised that he got out that quickly. I guess that's the perks of being the son of God.
Yeah. He parted the Red Sea, or the Brown Sea.
Nice. Do not see how I can top this commentary. Well, thank you all for having me on the show. Sacrilege Cast. Find me on the iTunes. I have Sacrilege is my Twitter account, so you can find me there, and Sacrilege Cast on Facebook. And I'll try to get everybody on the show interviewed at some points, because we got the true Melee love story, but not everybody else's story.
Well, you don't need to know.
We'll take pictures and just send them to you directly, Zach.
You got Ed, who lives in Newfoundland or whatever the hell it's called, and there's only like 6 people up there. And then
Newfoundland?
Yeah. And then
a population of 500,000. Thank you.
500,000 moose?
No, that makes it 500,000 one.
We're not counting cod.
Yeah, we're
Are you interested in honest and open perspective and discussion? Do you enjoy hearing people challenge the status quo, even if it means examining the bumps and bruises of the free thought community? Do the reverberations of the echo chamber make everything you hear sound trite and jaded? Are you ready for a show that dares to hold all people up to the light, to examine our biases and blind spots? Are you a humanist? Then the Q might be for you. Come check out the secular safe space for critical thought, cross-examination, and a caring ear, where it's humanism first, secularism always, and where I really don't give a shit if you're an atheist or not. Come join the conversation by searching for The Q on iTunes, Stitcher, or whatever aggregator you use, but be warned, I've taken the padding off the sharp corners.
Thank you so much for coming on, Zach.
Yeah, Zach, we love you.
Yeah, you're one of our favorite people.
You really are. And it's not just for your ass, although, like, it's like,
it's a perk.
It's 60-40, 70-30, 60-40.
Yeah, it's like 70% in your ass and like 30%.
Well, I was going to go the other way,
you.
maybe 60-40.
Really?
I don't know.
Why don't you guys just, like, completely climb through the conspiracy screen, pull his pants down, and suck him off?
I would if I could.
That's basically what's going on here.
I'd videotape it.
My husband had let me do it, too.
The night is young.
You should pull down your pants all the way so you can feel the full effect of the
Except I'm not.
Right now.
Just thank you so much for joining us on our inaugural episode on Spreaker. You are a dick. I fucking hate you. I'm
totally
divorce.
getting you back, so fuck you. Fuck the police.
We'll be back with the new episode next week.
That was the show for this week. Next week you can join us. We will have a retired professional MMA fighter who's now a Thai boxer. He's a podcaster and an atheist and an all-around good guy. See you guys then.
We love you.
And boom.
But
boom goes the dynamite.
This has been the Atheist Podcast, the show with no filter. The Atheist Podcast is produced poorly every week for your entertainment. For show notes and other show extras, please visit our Facebook page, The Atheist Podcast. If you like what you hear, please subscribe on iTunes or follow us on Podbean. All production costs come out of our own pocket.